Good morning, everyone. Today's topic of discussion is producers equilibrium. In the last lectures, we have learned the producer function and the law of variable proportions and law of variable proportion in short run. Today, we will be studying about the producer's equilibrium. The aim of every producer is to fetch maximum profit. In order to get there, the producer will use the factory inputs optimally so that the state of rest is reached when there is no change is required. When we say that the producer is said to be in the equilibrium, where he does not want to expand or reduce the output, it is a state where the producer gets the maximum profit or minimum losses. In order to explain the producer's equilibrium, we have to integrate the iso-quant line and iso-cos line. Okay, in the last lectures, we have learned in detail about the iso-quant curve and iso-cos line. Iso-cost curve. Okay, now here we have seen the iso-quant line and isoquant map with the different isoquant outputs. Okay, isoquant curve represents the different combination of two factory inputs, which helps in the production of a given level of output. Here in this diagram, we have seen that we have taken the factory input X and factory input Y. The factory input X is the machinery, and the factor input Y is the labor. See, we can see the different points, where A, B, C, D, E, and E. These are the output, the level of output that is produced using the different combinations of labor and machinery. Okay, and when the machinery is 12 and the labor is 1, a level of output is produced. Like that, different levels of output is produced, but this isoquant line, this is at these all points, the output will be the same irrespective of the combinations of the input. Okay, factor inputs. This is known as the isoquant curve. But on the right hand side, we can see the factor Y is labor and the factor X is a capital. It can be machinery, land, or something. But we can see the different isoquant curves. Okay, with a different level of output. One is IQ1 isoquant curve with 1,000 output, and isoquant curve with 2,000, and isoquant line with 3,000. These are the variable level of output. For each level of output, there are different combinations of factor inputs. Okay, and from this diagram we can see that these isoquant lines, they never intersect each other. Okay, they never touch the 0 point, original point. Now, see, on the other hand, iso-cost line. What is iso-cost line? Which indicates the different combination of the two inputs which the firm can purchase at a given price with a given outlay. Each iso-cost line will show the various combination of two factor inputs which can be purchased with a given amount of money. Iso-cost line shows the total expenditure of the producer and the prices of factors of production. Here we can see, from this graph, we can see three different iso-cost lines. One is for expenditure 2,000 rupees. The middle one is the middle line is for expenditure 3,000 rupees. And the last line is for expenditure 4,000 rupees. But with that budget, the producer wants to get the factory inputs with that cost. Okay, there are different combinations of capital and factory inputs, that is labor, through which only with the budget that is available, he has to procure those factor inputs. Okay, now here we can see as the the amount goes up, expenditure, he can hire more factor inputs. It can be either labor or it can be either capital. Okay, now there these are the three lines. Now we will see the producer's equilibrium. See, now what is a producer equilibrium? It is a state of rest. Every producer, he wants to make maximum profit, but with the minimum utilization, no, with minimum cost. That is the ultimate aim of the producer. Here in this graph, producer equilibrium, we can see there are three isocost lines and one isoquant line. Okay, these isocost lines are RS and AB and MN. These are represents with the different combinations of the factor inputs with the different outlays. That is the expenditure incurred. Okay. Now we can see the isoquant line also for a particular level of factor output. Okay. Now we see the producer equilibrium is happens when the isoquant line becomes it's a tangent to the isocost line. From this diagram we can see the E point. No, point E is where the isoquant line becomes a tangent to the isocost line, that is AB, and it cuts at the point E. Okay, now we can see there are two different points also. E1 you can see from the diagram, E1 and E2. But here also we can see, but the E1 it crosses the MN isocost line, and E2 also crosses the MN isocost line. But in this figure we can see this isochond line is not tangent to the isocost line. So the optimal utilization of the factor inputs are not achieved. See, the ultimate aim of the producer to maximize the output with the minimum cost. Okay, and this is the point. The E is the point where this equilibrium is achieved. That is called the producer's equilibrium. Okay, now we can see the conditions for producer equilibrium is equal to MRTS, labor and capital, equal to delta K divided by delta L. Delta K is the labor, the percentage change in capital divided by the change in labor is equal to price of labor divided by price of capital. Okay, the second condition is isoquant will be tangent to the isocost line, and isoquant is a convex in nature. Okay, this is all about the producer's equilibrium. Thank you so much.